Welcome to another episode of Blank Pages. We are celebrating a 1 year anniversary of us just being out. Just seriously, just clap it up. So for a good 1 year, has always been. To my right is the lovely Tony Ann.
How you doing?
And for a good year, his name is what?
Ray.
Raymundo. You guys call him Ray. I call him Raymundo. Also, whatever his wife wants to call him, she has all rights to the name as well. But as well with Raymundo, we do have Karima here as well.
Woo!
Oh yeah, masked up. She's sick. I don't know why she's sick. She's sick. She don't got the vid though. She don't got it. I just said she don't got it.
I did have it though.
What? Well, breaking news. She had it and she no longer does. Wow. I was not expecting that. But Karima will also be giving us an icebreaker today. So, Karima, take it away.
So, here's the random question. If animals could talk, which species would be the rudest?
Cats. Straight off the bat, cats.
I'd say birds.
How? What?
Because they'll take a crap on you whenever they feel like. Anyways, they can see a lot in the upper view.
Have you not seen a cat? Your cousin got cats.
Yeah.
And they walk around like they own the house. Like they pay
sure
rent.
do, but that's just within a contained space.
So,
Actually, no, I changed my answer.
yeah,
I think it would
cats.
be New York City pigeons specifically.
You just have a thing against birds, don't you?
They rude.
You just have a thing. How are birds rude?
Thugs.
No,
in
they're
these
not.
streets.
How?
You're
Ray, you haven't said anything,
You
but
don't live in the city.
I'm on the side of the cats
thank you.
because you dare not do your routine for a cat.
No, yeah.
They doing them
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
What? All right,
Yeah.
you don't want to
My
clean my
cousin
litter?
cat,
All right,
literally.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do right outside of this box. You know,
Exactly.
see what happens when you're not on time? Ain't that rude, man?
Cats.
The man, they think they own the place.
My cousin's cat definitely cussed me out for not being around.
Now imagine if it can speak to you in English. Exactly. Cats. Next question.
What would they say though?
I don't know, but it will be a bunch of who the hell do you think you are? Feed me now. You're dead. I'm eating you. Oh, you haven't cleaned out my bowl? How about I just poop on the floor right next to it? Like, come on. I have not met a cat that looks like it's happy to see its owner.
That's not true.
Unless you leave for like 3 days, I understand. But let you come home, it's like, oh, you're back. Well, there's a hairball in underneath your pillow that I'm not going to tell you
I don't know
about.
what cats you be around.
Your cats be eating jerk chicken, which is weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a
So
Jamaican cat.
so exactly.
So
So your cat would be like, "Wagwan, no man."
He likes tin cheese crackers.
Will I
Tin
be?
cheese? Tin cheese? Your cat's hella
Yo.
Jamaican, bro. Oh my god. I don't even like tin cheese.
Wait,
Oh, you're not.
Nah, I don't like tin cheese.
He's
the
not
bullet?
Listen, my audience, I am Jamaican, so there's some things that I'm going to like and some things I'm not gonna like. Tin cheese, no. It. Okay, I know Tony is over Okay. All right, what's the next one?
The next one is, what's the weirdest thing you do if you were invisible for 24 hours?
Oh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Weird to who?
That's the question. I'm gonna let Ray go first because I'm gonna need to know where on what level what should I say?
Wow. The weirdest thing I will do
If I was invisible, that's a tough one. There's so many.
There's so many weird things you would do.
Yeah.
Oh God! Thank God that we can see you, bro. All right, Tony, what you would do? Name, pick one of them. I'm coming back to you, right? By the way. Oh, she had to close the bottle cap for this one.
I'll just smile because I can't fully answer.
What? Nah, give me something that's less damaging to your persona.
That's why I have to. I'm like scrolling through the Rolodex. No, I can't say that. Can't say that.
One weird thing that I would do if I was invisible for 24 hours, I'd probably sneak up to someone
Mm-hmm.
and be like, I know what you did.
That's what I was thinking. Just go into the air and be like,
I know what you did.
why you doing that? Just for no reason. Or just for no reason, just be like, just watch.
Just to bother people.
Just to bother people.
Like pass gas.
I mean, that's the safe. Oh my God. Pass gas.
I'd be like,
Jesus.
You blame the person next to them.
Yeah.
One of those.
I mean, it goes eviler and weirder from there. Like, the most evil thing I would do is show up to like an old lady's house, and while she's just there by herself, just have something just floating in the air in front of her. Or better yet, I might get sued. Go to someone's funeral.
No.
Yo, clean.
Listen, yeah. If y'all don't want to be 100, I'll be 50. I'll be 45%. All right. I'm going to their funeral, and while the preacher is preaching or something, open the casket and raise the guy up to sit upright,
Lord.
and then lay him back down. Talk of the century.
Mm-hmm.
People gonna pass out, bro.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
I would leave. Sad to say for me.
It depends on what culture or what part of the world you're in.
True.
Wait, you mean rate? Oh, that's true. All right, fine.
Some cultures will actually think that, oh my gosh, they're back to life, and probably start praising and start being happy or reunion.
I mean, I'm pretty strong, so I'll probably make the God do something like this.
Last time that happened, that was Jesus, I think.
I mean, yeah, they might even call the God Jesus.
If objects had feelings, which item in your house would be the most annoyed with you?
My bed.
Tony Ann. Yeah. Well, why would your bed be annoyed of you?
Because
I mean, it's made for you to lay on. Are you farting up your bed?
who doesn't?
I mean, true, but how much farts you giving for it to be annoyed?
You know what? Next player.
If objects can talk, what would be the most annoyed object in my house? If they had feelings. Oh.
Which one would be the most annoyed with you?
So if y'all don't know, I'm a part-time pyro enthusiast. So maybe my bamboo sticks that I'd be lighting on fire for no apparent reason. Ray, there's no fire inside the house, so stop looking back. Or my pots and pans, because when I just be placing them, I just sound yeah. Right?
My walls. I keep bumping into them
Okay.
all the time.
These answers.
They're probably very upset at me. I ain't doing nothing to you. Like, all you have to do is lean on me. You don't have to bump on
That makes sense.
all the time.
I'll have to say my door frames too, because I'll be bumping into them like I don't know they exist.
Walls and door frames.
Or the corner of your bed, which is the pinky toe.
Oh, I think your pinky toe is more annoyed than the corner of your bed.
Body parts.
Both. Yeah.
Yep. If body parts had feelings, which they
The corner
do,
of the bed probably laughing at me.
or
If body talk,
If body talks, technically it does. If he farts.
Could talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they be cursing up the store.
What?
Yes.
What?
Pinky toe go through hell.
Pinky toe. Your whole foot?
My stomach? Bro, we just ate. You still hungry. All right, one more, Karima. One more.
Which fictional universe would you least want to live in and why?
Gotham City, because everyone dies and there's no type of justice or order. And it's like the purge with some police.
Okay. Damn. All right.
That was like them facts.
And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Batman's Gotham City. Better yet, slash that. I'm sorry. I'll survive in Gotham City. Whatever the town that the Attack on Titan is from,
Yes.
no.
There you go.
Just about to go
No.
anime too.
Yup.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
Nah, I ain't doing it. Big humans trying to eat me? Nah, I am not doing it. Whoever is the scouts, they be dying every other day. I'm
Every
good.
other day.
The mortality rate is high. Crime don't even exist.
It don't.
No matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
I think I speak for the group when I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
What if every human had a theme song that played when they walked into a room? What would yours be?
Wow.
Mine would be ba 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 na na. You know the Minions?
From the Minions. Ba 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 na. What about you, Ray?
My theme song. I would say, 50? Has to be a 50 song.
What 50 song you gonna walk up to? Many men.
I was just about to say that. Many men.
With death upon me. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a song. Or you could probably do I Did It My Way, Frank Sinatra. Because if it's Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way, a lot of people like to say I rebel. So yeah. I did it more. Yeah, that way. All right. Well, thank you, Karima, for the nice icebreaker. All right. Well, for this show is very special because we are celebrating our 1 year of just Blank Pages as being here. So yeah, I remember the cringy reels I was starting doing when it's just me and the whole entire camera was definitely off script. And then for those who don't know, I did start it by myself. And then I technically added these two people without even knowing. I brought the idea up to Tony in like a year ago. So she was already in the involvement of it. And she also was giving me ideas of what I should do. And then I involved Ray into the technicalities of making sure my camera was on script to make sure it was catching me. So yeah, full circle. These two are now annoying me for life with this podcast because it was supposed to be audio at first.
We said, hell no. No audio only.
And they said, no, we're doing video and audio. So here we are, a full year doing what we were doing with video and audio because of these two boneheads. Amen. I love them. I love them. I love them. But as we start, what was your favorite episode?
The one where we picked on Ray a little bit.
Oh, you mean when we was like, yo, talk your talk, Ray?
Talk your talk.
Not to give y'all some perspective. When I asked Ray to join the podcast, he literally was just like, yeah, I'll do all the back work, I was like, yeah, do you want a mic and a camera?
It's like, nah, man. I don't really want to talk
Yeah, I'm not going to say much.
behind the scene.
Yeah,
You need to give me a mic.
Yeah.
No.
And look at him now, mic'd up, talking every episode, just over here giving us wisdom, talking about like, I don't got much to say, but here's like 10 minutes of what I got to say. What about you, Ray?
I would have to say the beginning stages, just getting everything together.
Yeah.
and learning and being in that corner over there. Y'all can't see the corner, but we can.
Yeah.
And then getting Tony Ann on board and then creating that synergy. So between those episodes, and our first episode, those are like my favorite episodes because it was breaking the ice for all of us together.
My favorite episode or moment, you can say, because Ray was bringing up moments. So my favorite moment on the episode on the podcast would have to be when we did our first episode and we really didn't know what the heck was going on.
Oh, the vibe check.
The vibe check. And we also had to also check our own vibes, like, what are we doing? I think that was one of my favorite moments because I was filled with so much excitement, but yet I was scared as heck because I did not know what to expect. And I'm glad that we are able to keep Blank Pages alive for a year. And by a year, like, I know some of y'all might even go check and be like, no, you didn't drop an episode until April. Well, if you were to check Blank Pages, you would see that the first reel was on November 6th, which was my birthday. I gave you guys a little bit too much information. But it was in November. And by the time this dropped, we're talking about it. So, yeah, we're in the month. So I know that we over here drop a lot of gems and we give out a lot of lessons. What is like one or a few unexpected lessons that you have learned from Blank Pages or just by being a part of Blank Pages?
Being vulnerable.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Share.
Like, this is new for me.
Okay.
Even like taking my page off of private. Just being more, more vulnerable, putting myself out there. That was a big lesson. It seemed a lot bigger at the time, but now that I'm more into it, I'm like,
ain't nothing. Here's my heart.
Yeah.
What about you, Tony?
For me, it would be it's okay to be transparent. Yeah, just really like, how do I put it? It's really like breaking things down, like the conversations that we have. There has to be like a certain level of vulnerability, but also like transparency.
True.
To really break it down. And typically we have it just between us, but now that we're like sharing it with everyone, it's like, oh, it's okay, it's all right. Yeah.
I think one unexpected lesson for me was not being perfect is totally okay.
Yeah.
I handle most of the post production, so even from the first episode, even to this episode when I be editing it, I'm always trying to achieve like some type of picture of perfection. But it seems like one episode goes through and I'm like, all right, we need to change that. We changed that. And I'm like, oh, we need to change that. And I changed that. And I had to learn that, perfection is okay. And it made me love the process that we're in. Even to the point where, like your video, when it copped out, I was very surprised of how I took it. Besides the first time it happened, remember when we had Rashad as a guest, and I was just like, oh, my world is melting. I was like, oh no. But now, like, even though it happened, it was just like, it's fine. This is what we are doing. Like, I think I said on one episode, like, if we're not actively failing, then we're not doing anything.
Exactly.
Because in the failing, Tony Ann has taught me that the L's don't mean that you lost. The L's are you supposed to be taking the lessons from what you have, lost. So the fact that I've like, okay, one episode the audio was weird, change that. One episode Tony and Cameron looked at weird, change that. Another episode the lighting was weird, change that. Now I was just like, great. So yeah, I think those were like the unexpected lessons that I've gotten. Another one I've gotten, and it's not a lesson, it's more like a constant, like thing that I have to do now. Walk what I talk, preach what I'm teaching. In other words, like, I can't just be out here telling you to do X, Y, and Z and I'm not doing it. There's many times, even still, like for this, like today, I may not want to push through, but I remember episode when I'm like, you have to push through. But there'd be moments where I'm pushing through, and I remember episode when Tony Ann was just like, you don't have to push through for everything. And it has taught me to, like, if you're going to actually talk, you're going to have to walk the walk as well. So, yeah. Any lessons you guys also learned or no?
Definitely the walk your talk part. I know I say a lot that it's all about balancing, having a balance, having a balance, having a balance. But when it's time for you to actually sit down and like balance yourself, it's like, yeah, so that's one of the things for me.
And once again, we definitely don't got the answers. We just got formulas that we go by that gets us to the answer, All right. So I have like 3 questions for y'all.
Okay.
What was the biggest challenge you had to overcome or we had to overcome as a group?
I think at least for me, one I would say is ourselves.
Hmm.
Because we all have certain things about ourselves that would inhibit us from really like fully like giving our all sometimes. So the fact that we still push through and we still make the commitment and we still make ourselves available despite all the different things going on in our lives.
Facts.
We really had to like get past ourselves so that we can ensure that this gets done.
What about you, right?
I was initially gonna say this Zoom in the beginning, but it worked out pretty fine. I think Tony Ann hit it on the head. With ourselves, like I said in the beginning, it was very self-conscious, being vulnerable, and how because of that it comes across, it will impact you guys too, right? Impact all of us. So getting over that helped me to talk a little bit more.
Talk your talk, right?
Talk my talk. So I think that's what helped. That's one of the biggest challenges, as well.
One of my biggest challenges was learning how to say what I want to say, but not try to come off like in a mean way. I think I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's like I had to accept my role in this podcast. And it was weird for me to be like, oh, I'm the boss with my 2 friends. But at the same time, I don't want to be like, do what I say or lead. Like, nah, I don't want it to come off like that. So it's just like you have to find that balance between this is what you want as Boss Khalid, but understand that you also carry friend Khalid a lot more. So it's like, all right, what can we do to make ourselves perfect? I'm not trying to be in your lives. Like, I make sure I preach that to them all the time. I don't want to be in your lives. Your lives is personal. But I am very grateful that you guys committed to this.
But
however, these are some things that I need you to do. Like, it's just like, it's weird. And I'm not, and I'll say this all the time. I'm grateful for these 2 for being in my lives. I'm grateful for these 2 for agreeing to do this with me because they're doing this FREEE. And the only thing I'm paying them with is love and affection. So for me to have that spirit of you got to do what I say was weird. But there was things that I wanted to see. And I was like, you know what? How did it help me? And this actually goes into the second question, which is, how did you see our friendship evolve through this? Because I've seen it where, since I'm on this topic of, making sure I'm still a friend at the end of the day, is that even when there were times where episodes were not going through due to personal reasons, it allowed me to tap into the personal reasons way more than the episode not going through. When Tony Ann was having her little moments, I was just like, what's up? Like, I'm not trying to be boss Khalid right now. How you feeling? When the video wasn't working with Ray was over here just like, what to do? I was just like, bro, take your time. Like, I'll push it back. I'll push the episode back a few days. If you can work it, I have a deadline. This is the deadline, but you good? But then it also allowed me to be like, how y'all doing in your regular lives? What you up to? When Ray started talking, I started praising him for it. I remember when he told me that he wasn't trying to even watch one episode with him being on it. And I was just like, yo, nah, just watch it, bro. I understand. The first episode, I literally watched it underneath a pillow with one eye, just like, huh? And Jeannie was just like, why are you doing that? I was like, it's cringy to watch myself on the screen talking. Now, play. I really need to stop itching my nose like that. Like, it's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm okay with seeing it now. What about you?
I'd say we can be, I feel like for me it deepened the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we always talk. Yeah, we always did our check-ins, but getting down to the nitty-gritty of it used to take a little bit longer, but now it doesn't take as long. We can identify those moments a lot quicker and a lot easier. And then with regards to Ray, before this, we weren't as close as we are now. So it's like now Ray is like big brother. So now I got two brothers. So yeah. And a sister.
Yes, Ray comes with a package. So if you accept
and nieces and nephews.
so if you accept Ray, you accept wife. If you accept Ray, you also accept kids. You can't accept Ray and not accept wife and kids. And if you over here accepting Ray without his wife and kids, you ain't accepting Ray at all. Moving right along. How you feel about this, Ray?
The deep conversations that we had on this podcast, I think that's what has impacted or helped our friendship evolve. Like one time, I think Tony Ann said, comparison is the robber of joy.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
Comparison is a thief of joy. I was like,
recorder.
I was like, wow, and I think at that time I was just kind of struggling with finding my sound as a musician, and that helped, So I was like, all right, I need to stop being so hard on myself and just really focus on honing on my own sound. And it's going to sound ugly at first because he's so used to hearing and comparing. But after the time, I was like, all right, I think I'm getting more into myself. So that for me, the fact that we could come here together and share our experiences and our wisdom with each other, those powerful moments impacted our friendship.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I like how y'all two became closer.
Yeah.
I like to take credit for all that. Okay. Last question. If you have, then this is awesome. But what feedback from any listeners or watchers have you received that stood out the most?
I'd say from your dad. When he, at least for me, whenever he sees it, he's always like, keep going. And it's like a solid encouragement. Sometimes you feel a little frustrated.
Facts.
And sometimes you're like, then you hear it, keep going. And it's transferable in, no matter what we do, not just for the podcast, but like in every other aspects of our life, whether it's work, whether it's just random chill time, whether you're doing a personal hobby, whatever. Sometimes you get burnt out. Sometimes you don't want to do it no more. Sometimes you feel like you're stagnant, but then you just gotta just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Tony and stole
Oh,
my
you a thief.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Gotta
basically
be
your
quicker
pops.
than that.
Yeah, your pops. Either it's like either technical advice, or even Brother Jay too. Yeah, yeah, the
Mhm.
Yeah.
twins. Yeah, your dad and your uncle. They both gave me advice as well that was useful. Um, Either it's recommending apps, or certain settings on the camera. So those folks have really give some really good input.
Oh, well, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Uncle. For me, ooh, um, it was a, it was not a comment, but it was like a moment. Me and my wife, we went out for like a date night. We went to, I'm not trying to sponsor them, but it was like some type of, what's that? Squid 100 type of games.
Squid Game.
Like Squid Games. There we go.
Oh.
I added Physical 100 and Squid Game and combined them to Squid 100. If I see Netflix steal the idea, I have record that I gave you the idea and I want my money. Run me my money. But it was Squid Games, and it was weird. It was weird how the day was going through, but it was like I needed encouragement. I was feeling really sucky about the numbers. I was like, there ain't nobody watching. And Janika like cut her hand. So I was like, oh no, like now she has like blood dripping. So I was like, we need to go to the pharmacy. And the nearest pharmacy was Dwayne Reed. There's a few left. And one of the workers there, he actually goes to like your church. I don't know his name. This is horrible. It's not coming to my brain right now, but you know who I'm talking about. But he was at the cashier, and I was like, oh. We said, what's up? I'm blanking on his name, but it's fine. We're not about to release his government. But my wife was like, he also has a podcast. Now, I suffer from promoting.
Self-promotion.
Like self-promotion.
I suck at it, dude.
I suck at it.
Me too.
It's just horrible. But however, she was just like, yeah, he has a podcast right now. And he said, oh, yeah, I know. And I was like, what? I ain't expect you to be watching me. Like, I ain't expected that at all. He's like, yeah, I see the reels. I see that you doing good. Like, it's dope to see, like, keep on going. And it was weird for me because to me, he's not a random, but I'm not expecting you to be even watching, looking, following, aware that I even exist on your radar. Like, it's one of those things where it was just like, I am doing something cool. So for me, that was one of the best feedbacks that I had from a listener, was not expecting to even have a listener even listening. Since we're talking about our listeners, is there any type of comments that you have seen, either in the reels, either in our videos, or any messages that you have received that was just like, oh, this caught my eye, or this is pretty dope?
Does it have to be like comments that you've seen on the reel?
It could be comments that's even given to you.
People at church, a few of them have seen it.
Nice.
And they're always like encouraging and like, oh, that's really dope. Love to see that you're doing something. The well wishes, it's like a boost. They're like, hopefully, we start getting funding. So I like those well wishes. Keep them coming.
What about you, Ray?
Some of the comments, like we had one with Rashad when he talked about his piece.
Oh yeah.
And somebody said, yeah, facts. And then we had some with the Jamaican, the last episode that we did, whether it was we were talking about not going outside with wet hair. So he's like, yo, you keep not listening to your ancestors. I was like, damn. I was like, yo.
I was just like, what? I think it went something like you keep not listening to your ancestors. We're built different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if you're trying to tag me or if you, but
Oh,
I feel you
man.
on that one, bro.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think because Ray kind of stole mine. It was during our first episode, and I think Tony Yin commented when I was just like, "Why are you doing this?"
Mm.
And she was like, "Because it matters." And I saw about like 2 to 3 comments being like, "Yo, it matters," or that hit different. And I was just like, "Okay, this does matter. You know, this is something that is awesome." I think actually a comment that I get mostly is that when we're around like Rashad and Cynthia
Mhm.
and their daughter
Like
is like Michaela is like Khalid, and she's pointing to the TV like I'm a TV person, like Khalid. And Rashad's like, yo, she does this every time I put on YouTube. Like, Khalid, like, no, we're not watching Khalid right now. We're watching whatever I want to watch.
That's adorable.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm famous. But you know, it's just like, like I'm affecting someone, even though it's little her. It's just like it's somebody. When it comes to doing a podcast, what was your first thoughts? Because, like I said, y'all Negroes forced me to do video and audio. And I turned the gun right back on y'all. I said, ha, you want video and audio too? So, how is it doing a podcast? Yeah, I've been doing it.
It's not as stressful as I thought it would have been, like, or demanding, I should say. I guess my idea was, okay, we're gonna meet up like twice, 3 times a week. It's like it's gonna be a whole new job, you know. But I think once we established the template, it was just easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was easy after that. You know, so that was my thoughts at first. At the same time, I was like, I'm not going to be on camera. If I am, I'm going to be in the back in the dark somewhere. You're just going to hear, I told you this already.
Yeah,
You're just going to hear a voice, and that was it.
To the point where even your first video, I think we had to makeshift a camera stand for you because you was really like, I'm not going to be on camera. I was like,
Yeah.
no, you are.
Here we put it on top
That
of the
joint
box.
textbook.
Yeah, we put it on top of the. Listen, we are MacGyvers here. We gonna make it work.
Some
Yeah, we
textbooks.
put it right on top of the box. It was just like, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Man, for
One day I
me-
can.
Oh,
Go ahead.
still,
Go ahead.
still got more.
You see, Mister.
I ain't gonna talk.
You can talk.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Say much.
Let me give you 10 minutes of my thoughts.
For me, it was at least from my perspective, it wasn't as simple. At least the setup on the day wasn't as simple as I would have thought. Y'all should see them because I'm not the one setting up.
I'm just a
Okay? I'm just a girl. You know the video? I'm just a baby.
Just a baby.
Yeah. That's me. They're setting up lights. They're putting up the stands. They're setting up the mics, getting all
Tony
the
in
wires.
the bathroom,
And
put
I'm
on
just-
makeup.
Yeah. I put on my makeup. And
Rafa!
I
I'm sorry.
come.
If y'all don't know what I'm doing, when anyone puts on makeup, to me, the first stages look like Wakanda Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So when she put it on today and I saw the first stages, I was like, Rafa! Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, it's there's more that goes into the initial setup on the day with the lights, with the sound, with everything. And it wasn't as simple as I thought because I was thinking, we're going to come, turn on the mics, turn on the light, not realizing there's a whole process. So, yeah. So.
For me, it was, the setting up the lights and everything for me was like kind of easy because that was the technical mechanical part. it was putting it together as far as having a clear cut program, what we're gonna talk about, segments, making sure I'm on point when I'm like, hey, you listen to us. We're on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok. We're also on Apple Music. We're on YouTube. And by the way, I'm just put the plug right here so y'all know. But yeah, that's, to me, that was like the hardest part, because I spent so much time making sure that the equipment was adequate enough that I totally forgot about the the background work that goes into what are we going to talk about. Because at first, to be honest, I thought we was just going to wing whole episodes until I got to episode 3. I was just like, nah, we need a structure, you know. But yeah, and since we're on like technical, what was the funniest but or most memorable technical issue that we have had? I'm gonna go to Ray because he's a technical guy.
The funniest technical issues that we've had.
Yes.
Oh, it's a good question. I don't think I have a funny technical issue.
What about the most memorable?
The most memorable.
Oh, I said it wrong. What I said, remember? Oh, memorable. Wow, words.
You know, when I look at these issues, I look at them, I try to resolve them so fast. So it's memorable. I would have to say just getting everything in line. Like, all right, the mic's got to be a certain way. We said we're gonna put tape down to make sure that, you know, next time we come, we know exactly where to put things. We haven't done that as yet, by the way. But I think everything is like muscle memory at this point.
True.
So that's where I'm at.
Funniest would probably be today, because this one was so clumsy today. Every time Ray set something up, he accidentally unplugged it. So
I was trying not to out you, but since you've been there already. Want to continue?
So I have an issue since they out here snitching on me and pointing the finger. So I have this ongoing knack of every time Ray either sets something up, and it's not like he's setting up everything. It's only when he sets up my camera, I move it, I mess up the zoom, I trip over it. And today I was just messing up his whole setup. I plugged out his laptop. His laptop almost died on us mid recording. What else did I do?
I don't know, bro. Your big toe hit something and it plugged out everything. Like, cameras went down. I was like, oh, I gotta fix it.
Once again, as you guys can clearly see, they are all bullies. But yeah, one of the funny technical difficulties that I can remember. Oh, it would probably be when my camera was off in the start of Blank Pages. Like literally, I'll be recording a whole entire reel, and let's say this is the front of the camera. I'm over here. And I remember Ray was one of the first people to be like, you know, you're not centered in none of your reels. And I'm just like, bruh, I'm over here trying to center myself. Like, I'm over here like, all right, is it in the middle? Am I? But that for me was the funny moments, because I'm like, look at me trying to do it all by myself without asking for help. Okay. If you could invite one guest over on the show, who would it be?
It could be celebrity too. Just like one guess.
Yeah, celebrity. It could be celebrity. It could be someone you know. I'm gonna go with Obama, and not because he was the first black president. I just really want to know, how were you able to withstand all of these stupid accusations that you were not American? How is it that you are one of the only fun presidents? You understand that you don't look like you're about to be decrepit and died after your presidency. How is it to manage, you know, wife, kids, and be a president? Like, how is all of that? And then also, who are you really? That type of questions.
I don't know. For me, I don't know.
Hmm. I'll probably say for you, Buju Banton. I don't know. I just want to question people who. I want to question people that has something to say besides what we think that they're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, well, Buji, you would know. Or is it Buju?
Butcher.
For sure.
I don't know. You see, it's too late for me to be talking. So yeah. But Buju, what about you, right?
I don't know. That's as of right now, this person names keeps running across my mind. Denzel Washington.
Ooh.
Yeah. Denzel Washington. You know, I think he's been like at the whenever you hear about actors
Mm.
and their craft,
Mm-hmm.
and male actors always think Denzel. Like, how did you get to that point?
From
Like,
that, yeah.
what did you do? You know, or what advice?
Mhm.
You know, so it would be Denzel. I think he's an interesting person to ask some questions on the podcast and give his insight on some things.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay. What does a day or preparation for the day of recording look like for you?
Hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Tony in.
So, preparation starts from the night before because let me stop.
Just a girl.
I'm just a girl. Basically, I have to either decide if I'm going to come from Brooklyn or if I'll already be in Queens. If that's the case, then I have to time out when I'm going to start my makeup prep, um, so that I can get here on time. And then mentally, it's going over the run of show, seeing what to expect to be asked, and what activities we'll be sorting through or doing for the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Ray?
Run a show. I be, I look at the run of the show. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Khalid, this is like a 3 hour run of show, man. We ain't gonna be here talking about. You put 5 minutes. I'm like,
Listen,
this is
I
not a
try to be-
5 minute pointer. Like, we're gonna be on this pointer for like 30 minutes. Yeah, but I definitely look at the run of show and just kind of brainstorm
Mhm.
without writing anything down. Just brainstorm and then look at the run of show. Get up in the morning and then I was like, all right, the cameras, blah blah blah.
Gotcha.
How the audio is gonna go. But that's how my day typically looks like before. Before.
Before the day of recording, I normally run topics through Tony Ann. I'm like, hey, how about we could talk about this, we could talk about that. And she'd be like, oh, that would sound good. Or if I have an idea, I'll either shoot it to Tony Ann, but if Tony Ann not available, I'll shoot it to my wife. And she'll be like, oh no, that's a good idea. After that, I have to create the run of show. After creating the run of show, then it's just basically just planning out the day. Just like what day we about to do this. What times is available. I'll make myself available if I need to. And then, take it from there.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, and then also preparation, like Tony Ann said, she gotta get her face together. So
Yeah.
gotta make sure my hair's brushed, some self-conceited stuff about me. But yeah, I think one thing I emphasize on every episode is make sure that my wedding ring is on.
Mhm.
That's like one thing that I'm like, if I'm about to record, wear your wedding, wear it, just wear it. So I'd rather just wear it. Last question: if you were to go in the past, what advice would you give to your past self when starting the podcast?
Just start.
Mm.
Just start. Because, like we said, you don't need perfection. And with watching y'all and everything that, this encompasses, you really can just start. Ray tells us we don't need the bells and whistles all the time. He gives us advice on what we can use to substitute for like big lights or for like cameras and so forth. So I would really go back and tell myself, just start. Don't wait to try to be perfect like Khalid. But
Shots fired.
well, yeah, just start.
Okay. What about you, Ray?
What advice would I go back and give myself at the beginning of the podcast, the start of the podcast? It's a good one. Just start.
Tony out here is stealing it all.
No, she gave a good answer. It's you want to be, make sure that everything is perfect. I would say that the times when I maybe something didn't work, I was like, oh man, I can't get this file to you, or maybe I'm struggling with that. I would say, all right, Ray, take a little easier. There were times where it worked out. I said, let me take a step back, send it to you through WeTransfer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to promote.
Yeah, we're not promoting nobody unless you pay us.
Bleep it out. The transfer files, the sharing services that we used. So part of it worked. The video worked. The other part didn't, but it's better than nothing.
Facts.
So that's what I would tell myself.
I would tell myself 3 things, because it's something that I'm keep on telling myself with this podcast. Have patience, have grace, and always be willing to push forward. Because there's times, even like through this year, I'm just like, another episode or editing it. But in having patience, I learned how to give myself grace. And giving myself grace, I learned how to push forward. And within that pushing forward, it was finding new tools to get. It was finding more efficient ways to push out our reels, or even down to editing, where I realized, I could do multi-camera editing. Oh, dope. So now something that normally would take me 2-3 days to edit now takes me 3 hours. And it's just like, this is a good 3 hours spent. So those are the 3 things I would like to tell myself. Because starting this podcast, one thing I kept on hearing throughout the whole entire process was like, oh, you have a podcast? I know someone who started a podcast and they stopped at episode 3, or they stopped at episode this, or they stopped at episode that. And I'm just like, I don't plan on stopping. Like, granted, I'm not saying there's not moments where I want to quit, or there's not moments where I'm scratching my head at 3 a.m. trying to figure out what is going on. But there are days where I tell myself, patience, grace, push forward. Patience, grace, push forward. Patience, grace, push forward. So yeah. I realized that our families have been a biggest part, or probably one of the biggest part, in helping us with this podcast. So how has your family helped you with this podcast?
My wife is here.
As she just comfortably looks on the phone, as though I did not ask the question.
She's been supportive. I'm here. So
I'm here.
No, seriously, she's been supportive. Even when looking at the first episode, she's like, "Why you keep pacing back and forth like that?" I was like, I can't listen. I will walk out the door, come back. She's not, it's actually good.
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely. That's my support. Yeah.
What about you, Tony?
For me, it's a mix of various things. Sometimes I get here um from my cousin's house. So I have several cousins. Some of them live in Queens. Oh, was that too much?
I mean, you didn't give them their location, nor the
Okay.
address, nor the names.
Okay.
So yeah, we good.
Some of them live in Queens.
Facts.
And
You don't even know what Queens we talking about. We could be talking about Queens, New Jersey. I don't know if it exists, but fact check me if you want to.
uh-huh. So I would sometimes go to their house from the night before and then leave from there and come here. So it's just having that general support of, hey, you can stop in, you can come by, you can come back there after finish recording the podcast and just navigating around. Um, my dad doesn't really watch podcasts,
It's fine.
but he'll give me a ride if I need to get home. He'll wait for me. So
That's Pops Wood and
yeah.
Will.
Mm-hmm.
I think I share the same testament with Ray and also with Tony Ann. Is like a mixture of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys first said, like my dad. I know for a fact if there's one person that watches every episode,
It's your dad.
it's my dad. Every episode he has some pointer to give me. He has like some type of nugget to be like, hey, how about you try this? Or even when I'm like dealing with I remember going to him like, your dad, but they my friends, like how am I supposed to do this today? He's like, you gotta understand, like you're the boss right now, but you don't want to be like a dictator. And I was like, got you. Second, my mother and my sister. My mother will see every other episode, and my sister, she would like see episodes. But I would say have the biggest one will have to be my wife. She's literally here with me in the mud. Like when we have these recordings, I run it by her, be like, "Hey, what are we doing this day?" And she's like, "Well, even if we have something, or not even today during this recording, we technically had a day night. It's fine. Don't feel bad. Please don't." It was one of her ideas, though. She came to me. She was like, "Hey, I thought you was going to do something for, Blank Pages being a year." And I kind of felt like maybe I should wait for April because that would technically be a year for us doing the podcast version. But I remember even dropping rails and people were like, "Oh, I see you doing a podcast," before I even had the podcast. And I was just like, no, I got to give that respect. And even when we were trying to plan what day we should do it, she was like, "Nah, babe, don't even worry about it. Like, we go see that movie when it comes out. Make sure you get the thing in." Those 3 a.m. nights when I'm over here editing, the reason why I make it to 3 a.m. because she keeps on reminding, she was like, right now you're in your grinding years. You got to grind for what you want. And I'm like, I bet, no problem. Calling out page turners, that's her idea. So it's one of those things where when I am weak, she's there to be like, nah, you still got this. Like, remember who you are. Like, she holds me up. She practically could be a crutch if I'm being honest. But it's one of those things where it's like, when she's supporting me, I feel as though those grinding years, they ain't gonna be that bad. Me trying to figure out the next episode ain't gonna be that bad. It's like, nah, I got someone in my corner that is supporting me, even if y'all don't want to support me. And I love that you guys are supporting me. I don't mean y'all, but y'all know what I'm talking about. I feel as though when it comes to Blank Pages, what is the reason for you to continue? Because we knew what the reason was for us to start. But what is the reason for you to continue?
It matters.
Here you go again. Just
It does. You're making a difference because many of the things that we talk about are even like if we have filler episodes and so forth, someone is directly or can directly relate to it, and it either helps them or highlights them or just gives them an epiphany about something or just makes them feel a part. We're living in a world where there are a lot of people that just they don't have someone to really talk to. They don't have someone to really bounce these ideas off of. They don't have someone to really get in the nitty gritty. And some of them don't have people that will encourage them. So sometimes when they're scrolling through TikTok or on Instagram and see the reels and so forth, it's really impactful when you come across videos that can really speak to you. And we've seen or we've gotten feedback that we are impacting people. So it matters.
What about you,
Definitely.
Ray?
For sure. Looking at the space that we are currently in, that positive space, it's even if it's just one person, for the week or for the year, that's a big deal. So you never know what someone's going through in their day to day, and it doesn't have to work for everyone. But if that's just that one, that's one down that's heard a conversation that probably inspired them. They don't have to take the exact advice, but inspire them, and that's worth it.
For me, the reason why I continue, and is not to piggyback off what both you guys say, it is the feedbacks that I do receive. And like Tony and you shed a light on it. Like, I think we even said this on the first episode. It's so easy for you to go find negative, but you literally got to search for the positive. And if you got to search for positive, I would like to add to that. Like, let me provide that, even if you don't even watch it, even if it's not even seeing views. I feel like for this to continue to go forward, even for me, I can't pay attention to the numbers. I can't pay attention to how many likes. Granted, they coming in, but I get excited because I see more. Someone may receive that. Even if it's 10% of the numbers that we get, I'm happy. Like Ray said, even if it's 1 for the week, 1 for the year, I'm happy because I know that I'm putting some type of positivity in it. I think the Bible says, like, you got to be the salt of the earth. And one thing I've, learned is that, with salt is great. Salt flavors food. But one thing salt does, like, when we look back in time, it preserves food. You put meat within the salt, so now it could be preserved for longer than it should. But what is it preserving? It's preserving the meat. It's keeping back the decay. So one thing with blank pages, I firmly believe that blank pages is the salt of the earth because it's keeping back the decay. Decay, what's the decay? Negative thoughts, depression, not knowing what to do, the uncertainty of life. Ain't none of this promised, but at the same time, I can promise you, we still gonna be here.
Yeah.
As long as God willing. So the reason for it to continue, and I'm glad that we all kind of share it, is because we find some type of, what's the word? Comfort or some type of energy or something that keeps us going when we know that someone's life is being impacted for the better. We're not here trying to tell you should be waking up at 6 o'clock. We're not over here trying to push you to your max. We're not over here trying to be like, you got to be. No, we're meeting you at where you're at.
Yeah.
Accepting you for who you are and telling you that you may feel this way, but there's something better. Or even if you're feeling great, continue. But it's always something that's going to push you.
Yeah.
And for our faith followers, it's to let you know that you can actually be an entrepreneur and seek God at the same time.
You sure can.
I feel like we don't believe that. Nah, you can.
Sure can.
That's the biggest form of faith.
Literally.
So with this, I feel as though, like, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm only making this for faith-based followers. No, I'm not. It's for everybody. Like the saying say, anybody can get it. However, though, I'm not about to shy away from my faith on this.
Oh, no.
God has been the helm on this whole entire blank pages realm since start off. We pray before every episode.
Every single one.
If you're a guest and you don't like prayer, no problem. We're going to pray.
Yes.
And then you can come back and sit down. Like, I'm not about to be disrespectful to you, but I'm going to respect your wishes. But understand that we about to ask God to handle this real quick.
You said they could leave?
I mean, not leave, like get out. I mean, like you can go into the next room and then you could come back out.
Okay.
Like, I'm not about to force you to be in the prayer if you don't want to be in it. But if you're like, nah, that's not for me, no problem. Cool. Well, we have room A. Just give us 5 minutes and come back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to wrap the show up, what is one page that you would like to give to our page turners from your book for anyone who's trying to start something or anyone who's currently in something right now and thinking of quitting or thinking of should I go on or thinking why am I doing this?
I'd say for me, saying this a lot tonight, find your it matters moment.
Like find your why.
Find your why. Find the reason why you started. See if it aligns still. And if it does still align, if it's still something that you're passionate about, if it's still something that you love, something that you want to do, if it still matters to you, keep going. I don't have anything else to add to it that much because that's really all it boils down to. Your why. And once you find your why, you figure it out, you keep going. Like, it's going to get better. You are going to accomplish the goals that you work towards. Fact. So keep going.
I would say yes. Sonia said keep going. But also do something. If you feel like it's not working, do something different, right? Reassess. All right, don't maybe a template has to change. Sometimes it's just one little thing, and it could change everything for you. One little change. So be consistent. As you know, as be consistent, right? Point blank. And that's what I would tear out of my page and give to someone.
Because these people like to steal from my book and tear pages from my book and use it as their own pages. Let me stop. I was gonna say lock in, but basically that's basically what y'all saying. So I guess another page I will rip out. It will have to be worry about yourself. I feel like, and I have suffered, and I do suffer from this as well. I see other people's things or I see other people's accomplishments, and I feel bad that I'm not even scratching that level. Yeah. But yeah, I don't even know what they had to do to get to that level. And to be honest, some of them have been doing this even way longer than I have, and they're at this level because they have been consistent.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned is that when I start worrying about myself, I can handle all the feelings that comes with myself. I can handle pushing myself because I'm not trying to battle someone who don't even know I'm even existing. I feel like a lot of times we compare ourselves, remember? And it steals that joy.
Yeah.
And you kind of need that joy when you have that brick wall standing in front of you and you run into it and you're just like, oh, I can't do it. Well, you forgot the joy of doing it because you're over here trying to do it like so-and-so. Yep. Do it like you. And I feel like when you are very, very, very concerned about yourself, you'll start to do what makes you happy. You'll start to implement things that will keep you going, that will keep you locked in, that will keep you focused on the goal. So when you're finally doing these things, and I'm not about to be over here telling you guys this is easy. This is not. Running a podcast is not easy. My wife the other day asked me like, oh, what is one thing, like if you could hire somebody to do something, like one thing off your list. And before she even finished the question, I was like, run my podcast. Just tell me when I gotta be up here. Tell me when I gotta show, but run it. To handle the reels, handle the drop dates, handle the scheduling, handle everything. Why? Because it is work. But because I'm worried about myself, it lets me know like, oh, you're not that great at organizing. We need to work on your organization skills. Now we organizing. Oh, you're not that great at scheduling. Now we got to schedule stuff. I'm telling you, and I know I got to talk about that. But yeah, it makes me want to work on myself more than me working on myself so I can match somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys for coming again. Woo!
Sir.
1 year down, and we about to hit another 12. Thank you. As to my right, Tony Ann. Thank you for being here for a whole year. I just want to make sure I say thank you for our AV tech guy. Thank you for being here. Also, it's kind of amazing that Kareem is here because thank you for allowing him to be here. Like, I just want to make sure we do understand the power of a wife.
Yeah.
So if she was not cool with this Negro won't be here. But because she's cool with this and because she's supporting, you don't understand, like, it takes sacrifice.
Yeah.
He has kids and he has a wife. It takes away from that time. So I am very, 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 very appreciative that you'll allow him to be here. And thank you, Karima.
Anytime.
Thank you.
And thank you, Khalib, for answering that call within you and for taking up the responsibility and for challenging yourself, asking for help. And thank you, Janika, for supporting him in everything.
Thank you, Tony. Yes, and thank you for my wife. And would not be here for a whole entire year if he was just like, we're not doing this at all.
Invading her privacy in
Facts.
our living room.
Facts. You're in our living room. This ain't no studio. You know, a lot of people be like, oh, where you be at? My living room, bro. But yes, so thank you for our page turners who haven't been locked in for a whole year. We thank you. All our day ones, we thank you. All our days today, we still thank you.
Yeah.
And for those who still want to join us
Thank
and be
you.
authors of your own book, hey, I like that. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for visuals. And for audio, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and we're also on Amazon Prime if you listen on there. Wow. This is like the first episode I said it straight through without so-and-so over here to my right being like,
Don't forget.
You're 1 year older.
yes, I'm 1 year older. I'm not going to be perfect though, so
1 year.
I don't know how much wise you think I am, but thank you to our page turners for coming, and always keep turning. Thank you.
Yes. I have one request.
Yeah.
Late 30s hitting different.
Listen, it is 11 o'clock.
I get it. I need to talk about an energy drink.